What? Let's try that again. Maybe I should have caffeinated coffee today.
Yeah, my coffee's a little bit ago. Dark and cozy and bitty, like
Time for podcast. Welcome to the Northernist Podcast. We are two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is
Diana.
I call Winnipeg, Manitoba home, and Diana calls Waterloo, Ontario home. This is episode 204. It is a Sunday afternoon, so you know what that means for us. Settle in. We're going to be Gabby. You have no idea.
Maybe not quite so Gabby as a Monday night.
You see, Monday night we're loopy because we've worked all day, and we're recording in the evening, so we're both just out to lunch. Like, we should not be doing anything serious by Monday 5 o'clock. We're both done. We're done.
Good times.
It is what it is. All right. Diana's going to let everybody know what we're going to cover this week, and then I'm going to nope, that's not the right word I'm looking for. I'm going to blatantly advertise for McDonald's by drinking my coffee.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
This week we've got What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Wool Gathering, and Literature.
Guys, I wasn't going to put my McDonald's coffee that came to my house in another cup to hide the McDonald's label.
It's fine.
I'm not doing it. McDonald's will never sponsor us.
I don't think McDonald's cares if a small knitting podcast is drinking their coffee.
McDonald's ever wants to sponsor me, I will drink this stuff for life. I will do that. We will do ad spots for McDonald's coffee. Kidding me? Would that be great? Like, hey, if you do ad spots, we send you McDonald's coffee. Done.
That'd be all right.
That'd be fine.
That would not be the worst.
It would not be the worst. I am drinking some cafe. I collect the stickers. Okay, so this is something I do like, which has nothing to do with knitting and everything to do with just really good freaking design. So you can recycle or not recycle parts depending on what province you live in and what they consider recyclable or not recyclable. So like check province, state, country, check your local area to see what you can and can't recycle. What I do like is they, like all coffee people, run a coffee club, right? So you collect so many coffee stickers and you get a free coffee. What I love is that every cup just has this perforated edge and you can just peel off your next coffee club.
Yes, that is handy.
Isn't that great? That is good design. So I'm not looking, like I don't have to go into the store to get a new one when it's full, or they don't have to remember to give me a new one when I turn in one. I can just keep collecting stickers till I can go in and get a free one. By the way, I've got 6 full cards. And I drink a lot of McDonald's coffee. And then the sticker is just right there. So you don't have to see anybody. It was pandemic made before the pandemic. I love it because it's just right there and compact. There's no additional question. I don't have to remember to go, hey, I'm a part of the McDonald's coffee club and get a stamp. I just get a sticker with my cup and I put it on my card. So if I forgot until I got home, it doesn't matter. I still get my sticker.
100% have forgotten so many times when I have to actually remember to say, yeah, because nobody ever remembers.
I don't remember to do these things. Are you crazy? I was talking with Diana before we started recording. When I go to Prairie Lily Knitting and Needlework, they have a club, like you spend so much money, you get a discount on your next purchase. She has to remind me to pull out my card. Because I never remember these things. It's the same with like Second Cup. There's the digital app.
Mm-hmm.
When I could go to Second Cup because I was let out of my freaking house. 4 months and counting, guys. I'm going crazy. I'd forget half the time. I'm literally right there at the person. And the first thing they ask you is, are you using or collecting rewards today? I would still forget. I'd be so focused on getting my coffee.
Well, it really can't help you more than literally asking you.
It is not their fault. It is not their fault that my brain was all on half coffee, half vanilla bean hot chocolates, and the vanilla scones. It's not their fault. It's my fault for being focused on
I want a
how.
vanilla scone now.
Listen, so do I.
That might be my experimental Tuesday, is finding a good recipe for a vanilla scone.
Well, if you pull your head up from your button row and tell me what
Uh-huh.
you're drinking in your cup, we can move on to the next section.
No, this is true. So after that lovely not sponsored ad spot for McDonald's,
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I really like the cup design.
it is a good product design, I have to say. I am drinking some Mighty Leaf organic African nectar.
Ooh,
It's rooibos tea with hibiscus.
it's fancier than my cup of Joe.
It's caffeine free. It's kind of sweet, a little bit fruity. I like it. I really like this stuff. It's become my go-to caffeineless tea.
That's fair. Mine's turmeric ginger right now, so.
It's like this or the Goodnight blend from.
Oh yeah, the chamomile and fennel. The Goodnight blend is chamomile and fennel.
Oh, I didn't know there was fennel in it. It was chamomile and whatever. I don't know. I just read the chamomile part and like, yes, that's what I want. But yeah, it's these two are my go-to caffeine-free teas.
Weirdly, all right.
There.
I don't leave the house, so I don't have any cool threads or like yarn on the go or anything. I have been wearing my usual assortment of cardigans and stuff as I go through the week. A lot of the boyfriend cardigan, which I made out of some bulky yarn from the Barcelona line in loops and threads in the glacier colorway. Remember I crocheted that cardigan last year, and all those nice sort of glacial, they're iceberg grays, whites, light blues. You get the idea for
that sweater that every time you wear it, I'm like, gosh darn, I need to make one of those, and then I forget right away.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, mostly because it's the bulky acrylic one, so I've been able to have it on my back to help heat up my back muscles, but I can throw it in the washing machine because I can't take internal painkillers, period. It's just a full stop there, guys. I cannot do them. I'm either allergic to them because of non-medical ingredients, or I react really badly to the medical ingredients. And that is how it works across the board. That's it. There's no suggestion you can give me that's gonna work. We've been looking for 20 years.
It just sucks.
Cannot put anything in that's internal. It just doesn't go well. I have found maybe potential new external, which is fine. But I rub essentially an essential oil version of Rub A535, which smells like wintergreen. So I love the smell a lot better than Rub A535, and it does the same thing. But it gets all over your clothes. So because I wear tank tops and loose fit shirts and stuff, it'll soak through. So I've been wearing a lot of clothes that I can throw in the washing machine quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I want to be able to wash and keep all those chemicals away from like my cat picking them up accidentally, or me touching it accidentally, and like touching my face later. So I'm very conscious of that going on. Because that stuff's not supposed to go inside you. That would be bad.
No, external things do not go internal.
External stays external, internal stays internal, and I have to use some very limited number of external items. So it is what it is, and there we are. But 6 days later, because I did this Sunday night to Monday morning, like a week ago tomorrow, I woke up and I was fine, and then I moved and I wasn't. I can brush my hair, I can knit, I can sit and knit for 3 hours straight. We proved that yesterday at the Patreon.
Nice.
I was there till 4 o'clock, knitting and chatting. So
nice.
Can do that. But Monday through Thursday, it was 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops.
Gosh, that's just distressing. Like the number one thing you want to do when you're in pain is distract yourself from being in pain.
Yeah, I know. And I've had a cat try to climb on my back all week. She's trying to purr because I'm not purring, so therefore I'm broken. And she'll compensate for me. She's heavy.
Not helping.
Not quite as helpful as she thinks, because she doesn't lie down. She just stands on the sore spot.
Oh, cat.
Oh, you're heavy, buddy. Oh gosh. But that's it. It's my usual assortment of stuff. I need to make another boyfriend cardigan, like another crocheted boyfriend cardigan, because it is a crocheted pattern. I really freaking like it. And it has some great pockets, but I want to do it in a nice solid, like a DK cotton or something instead of a bulky. I'll have to change my hook size and everything, but whatever. So it can be like a summer cardigan for whatever. Weird people who go to the cabin, they can wear it there. But I would wear it for like farmer market Saturdays.
Yeah.
So I want to make another one. It also took me like what, a week or two to make it?
Yeah, it was like, I think you went poof sweater with
I
that pretty much.
I went poof cardigan with that one, yeah. I did that a lot with the summer with the crochet cardigans. It's just like poof, you've got a cardigan. You're like, hello.
Where'd this come from?
Where did what? Okay.
Crochet's cool like that.
I love crochet. Did you see that Corona shawl that I posted that I want to make?
Oh, is that the lacy one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to. Oh my gosh, I want to make that too.
Yeah, I want to make one of those. So it's all crochet. It's crochet.
What weight of yarn did that use?
It said lace. I'm going to use fingering and up my hook size because I can't see a 2.75 millimeter hook. I could do a 3.75 millimeter hook, which would be fine.
I've got some lace with it's like dark blue grayish with a rainbow pop.
That would look great.
And I knew I was gonna make a lace shawl with it, but I didn't know which one, and it might be that one.
I figure I'm gonna get 2 skeins of fingering in the same colorway, and I'm just gonna make a fingering version because then I'll get that extra length and depth that I want.
Oh yeah.
I'll have bigger stitches. So to each their own, as the case may be. So I suppose, have you gone anywhere? I mean, other than the usual groceries?
No, I don't go places besides I finally moved all the things out of the apartment, including the furniture, so we just need to go back and clean it this week and then we're done. We're done. We're done.
Cool.
But yeah, I went to the grocery store. Woo. I wore my flax sweater for
Hey,
the Patreon hangout yesterday.
didn't even notice.
Yeah, I know. It's just in my regular rotation of, oh, hey, I want to wear a pullover sweater. This is here.
To be fair, I actually spent most of our Patreon hangout without actually having the Google Meets up. I had my lace chart up on my screen, and I was reading my lace chart while I chatted.
Well, that's probably why you didn't notice that.
I probably just didn't catch it when I was actually looking at the Google Meet stuff. So there you have it.
I'm subtly waiting for one day where I wear it for a work meeting, wear it at work. I'm starting to work from home is taking its place in my brain. Anyway, wear it for a work meeting and have somebody be like, "Oh, that's a nice sweater. Did you make that?" And I'll be like, "Yes." Nobody's done that yet, but I'm waiting for the day where I can be like, "Oh yes, this sweater that I wear all the time. I made it. Isn't it wonderful?"
You'd like to toot your own horn?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
No shame.
See how it is. I mean, I do. I love it when people ask me if I've made items that I'm wearing. More and more, the answer is going to be yes as we go through on. So, oh no.
It's just so satisfying when somebody's like, "Oh, that's beautiful. Did you make that?" And you can say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just stop at, "That's beautiful," and you can say, "Thank you, I made it."
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
The personal sense of joy. Oh my goodness. I suppose. Does that bring us to what we're working on?
Yeah, we should maybe actually talk about what we're working on.
Not just my back.
Uh,
You guys could hear the pops coming out of my shoulders when I roll them. You'd all be grossed out. I'm grossed out, and it's my back.
Aw.
We have exactly 2 items apiece. That tells you how much pain I've been in.
Yeah, so in order for me to keep up with Jocelyn's number of projects, it requires that she be in intense pain for a week.
Yeah.
So, that's the level of handicap I need.
Now we know. I don't want to give you this level of handicap ever again.
No, I don't want this level of handicap.
Not enjoyed it.
Not good.
If I'm better next week, there's going to be so much stuff. It's going to be ridiculous. All right.
I want to go back to our customary 2 to 5.
I know, because I'm not starting off a preamble. I've got one item, and then you're up.
Okay.
Gonna blow your mind, hey?
Whoa. Okay. All right, let's do this.
I had one item right up to last night. And then I went, no, I really need there to be two. Like, my brain is not okay with just having one thing to talk about. So I did exactly 2 rows on the shawl design I've been working on. So we have another button row in here now. Look at those buttons.
Ooh.
Botany. There's my thing. So I am designing a crescent-shaped shawl. It is called King's Flame. It is not ready for test knitters. It is a series of really rough notes that caused Diana and Elsa to ask me a bunch of questions. But as they are Diana and Elsa, they got the rough notes. And I'm continuing to make work on it. This should have been done this week, even with the sweater off going on. I should have been done this week. That is how grumpy I am about it. Grumpy.
Sometimes your body says no and you gotta listen.
I
Otherwise
am.
it'll say no for much longer.
I am listening. So I'm just working my way through a stockinette row between buttons here again. But I am doing it. Oh, I still haven't brought that freaking ball band out from the bedroom. I have one giant 200-gram gradient of yarn that goes from a ice white into a deep glacier blue, back up to an ice white. And then I have one super strong contrast mystery deep red in fingering that I'm currently working on the shawl on. So I don't know when the pattern will be out. I have to finish the shawl, then I have to write the pattern, then I get to put photos. There's a bunch of steps still. A bunch of steps still. So hopefully sometime in March. Hopefully.
Something like that. Spring. Just say spring and then you've got like a 3 or 4 month period.
Sometime. I'm going to say sometime. At some point, this will come out. So it has been my break because I've been having nothing but trouble with the Zodiac collection. So the break has proven worth it. That's going on. But that's it. Your turn.
That's it. Okay, I gotta vamp for a few seconds because I'm almost at the end of the row of the shawl that I am test knitting for you. And so I was looking at your your button rows. So we keep calling them the wrong thing. They're buttons. It's a button stitch. It's the Estonian button stitch.
Estonian button stitch.
And I think yours are more spaced out than mine.
Possibly?
Do you have knits? Do you have knit stitches between your buttons?
Yes.
Okay, because that's not written in the pattern, so I do not have knit stitches between mine.
That's fine. There is no pattern. It's rough note.
I am doing your pattern as written, and that part is not written.
That's fine.
I actually quite like how it's coming out though, so I have no complaints.
This is all still in the design phase. Oss is doing it in a slightly different button stitch variation, and I don't like it so much I'm going to recast on this shawl when I'm done and do her buttons. Because I like how she's done them too. So it's fine. You guys are having notes, so you don't have a full, like, there is nothing written out. There's nothing written out.
They're very rough notes.
Very rough notes. I'm not updated.
There's finally instructions for the button stitch in there, I noticed.
Yes. That took a while.
Okay, I finished the row.
It means I forgot to put knit 2 between each button.
Yeah, you totally did. That's okay. Honestly, it looks good both ways, so yes, no complaints.
I like how yours looks, so like it's fine. And we can put it in as a hack.
Yeah, okay. So the yarn that I am doing your shawl out of is as it's tangled, my main color is Malabrigo Makita base, which is a single ply fingering weight, and the colorway is Diana. So when 2 of these were on sale at Wolseley Wool a couple of years back, I got both of them because, it had my name on it.
Yeah.
So it's fall colors, like early fall, sort of like greens and then just a little bit of yellow and red.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks gorgeous in a skein. It looks gorgeous in a cake, and it looks increasingly gorgeous into this shawl. Like, I am just so happy. It's got this very slight sheen to it. I'm pretty sure this is just wool. I don't think there's anything else in here. So I don't quite know where this sheen is coming from. But so I just want to get that as close as the camera will focus on, because look at this button stitch and the garter stitch And the stockinette, it's just looking so great. I have much love for this shawl, and I'm like 20 rows in. And the rows are already so long.
They just get longer. It's crescent shaped. That's what happens.
I know. I hate knitting. I hate the length of the rows, and I hate trying to block them. But the shawls that I reach for the most, that are easiest to wear, are the crescent shapes.
Yeah, it's one of those when I sit there and I go, the wrap is the easiest one to design. I never wear wraps. I never wear wraps. I wear triangles. I wear crescents. I wear half circles. I don't wear wrap. I wear asymmetrical triangles. So I'm like, I just gotta stick with what I'll actually wear.
Yeah, and you gotta learn after a while.
Suck up the fact that the rows take forever.
If I scoot over here, I can reach my contrast color. So the contrast color for the lace section is just plain black.
Yeah.
I don't have a tag for that. It's, I don't know, it's plain black sock yarn. The Makita base is in fact just merino superwash, but yeah, I have a second one in its skein. I guess there's a little bit of blue in here too.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. A little bit of purple, but yeah, it's kind of fall-ish. So yeah, it's gonna be real moody.
Yeah, it's gonna look amazing with your caramel colored coat.
I don't think that one made the move. Because it was. I don't think it did, because that was actually just a super cheap coat that Chris had bought for cosplay at some point.
Okay.
And yeah, it was like all torn and ripped on the inside, so I don't think it made the move.
That's fine. At some point, you will buy another neutral colored coat.
This is true. This is very true. So
that is your design aesthetic, is neutral colored with pops of color. That's gonna look
yeah,
really
and I'm content with that.
You know what? It would also look really good next to
Mm.
a dark green army jacket. Like you get those fashion army jackets for girls with like the cinched waists and stuff.
I was actually thinking the other day how much I would like to have one of those.
Yeah, that would look really good next to that too.
Yes, it would. Okay, I'm doing that now.
Just saying.
Gotta find an army surplus store.
Or, because I know you want to do your sewing this year, make your goal this year to learn the techniques that you would need to have to make your own.
Man, I would be delighted if I could just make a dress. I feel like a structured, like a loose-fitting dress, like a maxi dress. I would be delighted if I could make a maxi dress.
That's a good start. It's like knitting. You just keep picking up a technique at a time, and before you know it,
I know. Eventually, I'll get this mess behind me cleared out, and I'll have space.
I don't know how much of the mess everybody can see at the sewing table behind me, because I got magazines up to here, and then like the sewing, which is actually covered by the my first simple hug that I haven't woven in all the ends in yet. But then the pile just gets bigger. Screen.
Most of the pile is hidden. Yeah, I will just no, that doesn't really help. If I just like sit on this side of my frame, then you can't see the mess, but then you can see all that mess.
You just gotta clean, man. Just gotta clean.
Yeah, I mean the rest of the house is coming together really nicely, and I just haven't spent any time putting things away in here.
That's fine. It happens. I got held up this week, so things have come out, and I've looked at stuff, but I haven't been able to put it all away yet.
Oh, the other fun thing, the stuff is out everywhere. We had electricians come and fix some of our definitely not up to code wiring, including some lamp cord that was powering the light in my closet that was super not up to code. But they found a junction box in the wall made out of an old tuna can. Not even joking. This house is amazing. It has so many quirks and some very strong opinions about things that I don't necessarily agree with. I'm so excited. In a couple of weeks, when everything's put away, I'm definitely going to film a tour of this ridiculous house, and I'm going to put that up on our YouTube channel for everyone to enjoy this house, because it's amazing.
I'm looking forward to coming to sleep over and sleeping in the pub.
Yeah, my guest bedroom is the pub. The guest bed's in the pub.
And I feel like that's super appropriate. It won't be even creepy at all. Chambers. That portrait on the wall.
Oh yeah, the monk will stare at you as you sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a nightlight for that room. I'm gonna need a nightlight like a small child.
Okay.
I need a nightlight in my room. Never mind in one with creepy portraits staring at me.
I mean, it's needlepoint. Does that make it better?
No, it does not make it better.
I tried. I tried.
The only other thing that I was able to work on this week, which I um decidedly have fallen into second place on. So like if I manage to eke out a sweater by next Thursday, oh my gosh. It'll be beyond inspiring for me. So I've been doing a 2-week sweater off with Louise from Wildflower and Wool and Fiber Friends. We were chatting on Thursdays because we do the live check-ins and start and finish on her channel, Wildflower and Wool. And we both really like this 2-week challenge. I'm still really liking the challenge, even though I've only done like a week's worth of work. Nobody's fault but my own, people. We're gonna do it next year. Same dates next year. So after Valentine's Day in February, we're gonna do a 2-week sweater off.
Nice.
So we're gonna invite everybody to join us because it's just fun. Just go, okay, can I? And try. Whether you get there or not. It's a challenge against us, each other, and ourselves to do this sweater off. So I have been working on the Habanero sweater, which is a bulky weight sweater. I'm doing it in worsted weight yarn because that's how tight I knit. I got gauge for the Habanero sweater on a 6mm needle, and it called for a 6.5mm needle on bulky yarn. I got it on a 6 in worsted.
All right.
My fabric is incredibly loose and drapey. See all that drape happening there? It's bunched up. It just compacts on itself. It is super airy and light and fluffy and perfect because I have always wanted to wear this sweater pattern with summer dresses in the spring with tights. So I
That will be
couldn't
lovely.
have a tight weave. I couldn't have any of those dark because I needed it to be a lighter weave or I would melt to death. But in late spring, when we're still in lake season out here in Manitoba, because we just grow a sea of lakes.
Well, it's a floodplain. What do you want?
It is a floodplain. That's like it is what it is. It'll look really good when we're getting to that point where we have like maybe 20s as a high in the daytime. So like you want a little something, but you want to wear your spring summer dresses because you've been in winter for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So like my Skechers, my tights, my summer dresses, and then this bad boy on top with my little white backpack.
That'll be so cute.
I will be adorable. I expect all of you people to hit on me. I am working. I'm single. I can make these declarations.
I'll make sure to send how you do in texts while you've got your voice to text to speech on.
If you know I'm out in public, you know the text to speech is on. So you know the deadpan, flat, monochromatic male computer voice will say, "How you doing?" to me. Which I can't even mimic because there's no inflection whatsoever. Like I cannot mimic how deadpan that voice is. It is Diane freaks me out every time because it says Diana Carrier messaged and then it just says the first part of the so sometimes I get how you and it stops, sometimes I get how you doing. Uh my life is delightful, guys. So I am over halfway done my lace charts. I had started my lace charts by Thursday when we did the check-in. My hope had been to be through the lace charts and then be working on the hem because I finish off. I got each lace chart makes one of these little arrow dudes, and 2 arrow dudes makes up a full lace repeat. And I've got what am I here? This set one I'm working on, and one more after that, and then I'm done. And then I have 10 rows of 10 rows of garter knit, and I bind off the body.
So you're like really close to being done the body.
Super close to being done the body, which is the hard part because it's the biggest amount of stitches. Obviously, since I've got my fronts and my back on my needles all at the same time.
Yeah.
So once I'm done that, the sleeves should not take me that long because when I'm knitting in the round, A, they're smaller rounds. B, I have just plain stockinette, and then they got this little arrow lace detailing right by the cuff.
Mhm.
and I know how to make sleeves to fit me right. Like I've got my numbers all written down. I'm making the Jocelyn sleeve because that's the sleeve I like. So I know how many stitches I have to pick up at this gauge. I know how many stitches I have to, like, I know all of the numbers I want. I know how many inches I got to knit before I do my decreases. It's all down. So I can just go. I can give her, which I'm super excited about. So in theory, if I can be if I can be bound off tonight, I could still do it. But I have to be bound off the body tonight
Oof,
before I go to bed.
that's
It's
a lot of knitting.
a lot of knitting. So today's going to be my push day because if I can get my push day done, and that's my, like, I even messed up my lace on the one side and I just don't care because it just looks like I made a cute mess up.
I I can't even see it.
Yeah. So, but today's my big push day because if I can push, then I can do a sleeve every evening if that's what I do from when because I'm not allowed to work on the sweater while Louise is at work because that's not fair.
Mhm.
She literally can't. So at end of a work day for me in Manitoba, and I just arbitrarily chose 8 hours. I chose 9 to 5. Between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. I cannot work on the sweater. If I cast on at 5:30, once I've got supper going and stuff, right? Because you got commute time home, you got dinner making. If I cast around 5:30, yeah, 5:36, somewhere between 5 and 6, and I work on it till I go to bed, I can do a sleeve a night. It never happens because I get distracted and I get bored with sleeves, so I put them down. But if I focus, I know I can do a sleeve a night. It's just annoying because I don't like doing it because I find sleeve knitting kind of boring.
Mm.
So I've
Put on a good episode of something.
Lord of the Rings extended. We're pulling out the big guns.
That yeah.
We're pulling out the big guns. Something I can watch and knit, and I still get absorbed into, and I still enjoy watching, and then I can just go till bedtime.
It's a good 3.5 hours per film.
Yeah, yeah, because I have the extended versions.
Oof. Okay. Okay. Okay.
It'll consume me from well, okay, for me an early dinner, for everybody else a reasonable dinner time to bedtime. It'll consume that chunk of time, and I like watching it, so my hands will just go on autopilot, which is what I need them to do. So I can do it. So I can do a sleeve on Monday, a sleeve on Tuesday. That leaves the non-button button band on Wednesday, which is doable because the button band is only a couple of rows of garter. There's no ribbing to slow me down on this pattern. I picked a no ribbing pattern. So it's just the garter rows for the button band. So as long as I'm on the button band by Wednesday and picking up, I could get it done, but today's my big push. Even with my sore back, even with my sore elbow and wrist, because I injured the left side of my back. So my left elbow is grumpy, my left wrist is grumpy because all those muscles are now working funny to compensate for sore muscles. If I can push and get it done, I could still finish the sweater in time. Will I beat Louise? No, no. She was down inches in her body. Her sleeves are done. She just had body and hem. She just had lower body and hem, like under armpit and hem to do. She's
No.
my butt physically, time wise. She's gonna beat me. But if I can get the sweater done in 2 weeks, I'm calling it a win.
Yeah. I mean a sweat.
If that's a sweater in
That's
2 weeks,
yeah.
that,
I like.
that's huge.
That's
If it
like.
proves to me I can do it.
I was gonna say that like that's a real sweater versus like my cropped super bulky thing that I'm. The intent with that is to be able to do it in a weekend.
Doing
But
that
like, but yeah, like you're doing like a real sweater.
next year, I will up the challenge rating for myself and I'll try to do a worsted weight one in 2 weeks. If I can do a bulky in 2 weeks with a busted back, I can absolutely manage a worsted in 2 weeks.
Color work.
Well, yeah, obviously, because how else will I keep myself interested?
Touche.
Because if you're doing that color work yoke, all of a sudden it goes from it takes me 3 weeks to knit a yoke to I finished a yoke this week because it's just I'll just do one more row. I'll just do one more row of the color work and then I'll put it down, which never happens for me. So if I pick a color work yoke, I'm done the yoke in less than a week, and then I'm just needing sleeves and a body. And again, it's the same thing. Just don't injure myself.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Don't injure myself. B, to work a worsted and get gauge at on average, my gauge on a worsted sweater for the gauge that they call for in the sweater patterns, I'm on a 5 millimeter needle anyway. I'm only dropping a millimeter size.
Okay. This is sounding very doable.
Like, I think it could be doable for next year, having done this test run on the bulky. Now, don't get me wrong. Super glad we went bulky this year. And I know because we're going to make this annual, we're not going to tell anybody what weight they have to knit for anything. No, 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 no. It's whatever sweater you want to attempt to cast on and knit in 2 weeks. That is the sweater you want to do a cropped bulky in 2 weeks. Yeah, it counts. I think the only thing I might suggest to Louise is it has to be an adult sweater. Because I feel like knitting a baby sweater in 2 weeks it's not the same level of knitting.
No, I mean you can do a baby sweater in like
A day.
You blink and poof, there's a
Terribly
sweater.
unfair. All right, but that's it. I'm out of things for knitting. It's just you and your sweater now.
All right. I have been working on the Ome tea.
Speaking of things I'm losing at.
I did not. I have not finished it. There are no more. I didn't do another 8 inches of fingering weight this week. And I was all pumped for like I basically get paid to sit and knit for 3 hours at work, and then the summit was actually like super engaging, and I just kind of like forgot for most of the 3 hours. Also, I was starting the lace section, and I couldn't like pay attention and figure out my lace chart and actually do the lace chart. It's not a complicated lace chart. It's just too hard, like just a little bit.
It's just enough. It's a problem.
It's just enough. I cannot carry on a conversation and do it, which is why I'm not working on it right now.
It's the same with the lace in the habanero. There's just enough counting in between each section starts and how you're doing it that I have to pay attention just that little bit. But my shawl, because the pad is entirely in my head, I'm good to go.
Now I have to look at what I'm doing for some of the stitches, but I just have to see where I'm sticking the needle. But anyway, so for this one, I've got color A and color B and color C, and we're into the lace. We're tangled on my phone. Okay, we're into the lace at the bottom here.
Oh my god, your colors.
Let's see if I can spread this out, and like I have done exactly 8 rows of lace, so you can't super see it, but like yeah, the progress keeper is accurate. So I stuck it in when we finished recording last week.
Okay.
So I finished the stockinette and I'm into the lace, and I was so annoyed with myself today. I got way too into Critical Role, and I did one of my lace rows wrong, and I didn't notice for the entire row. Like I started wrong. I didn't even get wrong halfway through. I started the row wrong, so I did the entire row wrong. And then there's a plain row between each of the lace rows. And I didn't notice through all of that one either. But when I went to do the next one, I'm like, things aren't lining up correctly. And then I had to tink back 2 rows today, and I was just so annoyed. That was like all the knitting I did today, and I had to undo it. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Grumble, grumble?
Grumble, grumble.
Grumble.
But, yes, this is what I say. But the lace is making this nice, like, I don't know how to describe this properly. There's eyelet parts, and then there's the decreases, so there's, I don't know, dips and holes. I don't know how to properly explain this. I don't know how to properly explain this. I'm gonna pull up a finished picture in the pattern here. 1 second. 1 second.
Are you gonna pull up the Ravelry image?
No, I have it here on my phone.
Okay.
And then if I put it on this, so you can actually see that. Okay. Zoom, and then hold it up very carefully. So it ends up looking like that, as I try very hard to hold my arm still.
It's harder to hold your arm still than you think.
It really is. But it's sort of like shell decreases with staggered eyelets between them.
Sure.
If that sort of makes sense.
I would have just gone with the words pretty decorative lace.
Yeah, I'm just, it's cute lace. Yeah. And I don't have to do an I-cord cast off.
That would take a while.
It would take a very long time, and honestly, I don't know that an I-cord bind off would work next to the lace. I feel like it would be too heavy.
It might be too heavy.
Yeah. So I have done all of the I-cord. The sleeves are finished, the neck is finished. Like, when I finish this lace, it's just a regular stretchy bind off. And then I have to weave in the ends. And that's it.
You know the bonus, the habanero?
Uh-huh.
I will have one end to weave in on the body. The last one.
Oh. Oh yeah, because you're doing like a Russian joint or something.
Yeah, and I'm working in my ends as I go. So I have one end when I bind off, my bind off end. It'll be the same with the sleeves because I'll weave in my
That's
ends.
smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have
I am full on addicted to this weaving in my ends as I go. Now that I
1,
know what size to make
3.
sweaters so they fit. So like because I put the habanero on and my fit across my shoulders, perfect. The fit around my chest, as good as it's gonna get given I'm making a 47-inch body for the 52-inch chest. It sits where it's supposed to for me. Everything is fitting excellent and when I try it on as I go down. So like I'm super happy I finally figured out the math for that.
Gosh. I'm very happy with these colors. I'm so excited.
Well, they're really pretty colors.
This color work was really fun to do too. It's you only ever knit with one at a time.
Okay.
And you do knitting into the stitch below to get the staggered color effect. Really interesting. And it's because of that, some of the stitches are longer than the other stitches, and so it like bubbles the fabric a little bit into this nice 3D texture that absolutely does not come through on camera.
That's fine.
But it feels nice too. So that's my thing. I might actually finish on time. So I have to do 9 lace repeats.
And you do a whole month and a bit.
Yeah. The pattern calls for 9 lace repeats. I've done 2.
Okay.
But honestly, I'm just gonna go until the ball's basically done. Like, I'm gonna leave myself enough for a bind off, and that's it.
Well, that makes sense. It'll be a nice tunic length then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's already reasonably long. I'm kind of surprised. If it'll sit approximately there. So like it's already like hip length almost.
Oh yeah. I've got to make one of those.
As I wear a very shapeless shirt, so you can totally see where my waist and my hips are.
You can't see a thing.
No, you can't see a thing. But trust me, it's about hip length.
Okay.
Like top of hip length. So I'm happy with it, and it will just be lacy until I run out of yarn.
I'm so excited I can knit and I don't feel twinges in my back every time I do a stitch.
That is a plus.
So happy. So happy. I still have to remember to roll my shoulders. My natural instinct right now is not to sit upright. It's to do a very good Quasimodo Hunchback of Notre Dame impression.
Uh-huh.
And it was bad. Like I was one shoulder higher than the other, hunched forward on Monday. Like my Quasimodo was on point on Monday. On point. On
Ooh,
point.
that's some method acting there.
I believe in going all the way. All right. I'm going to put this down for a bit so I can rest my shoulders. Let us discuss wool gathering.
Wool gathering.
Because there's a chain of yarn sitting here that I want to open to see the colors of, and I can't do it till we get through our ads, our administrative detailings.
Administrative details. Okay. Really quick then. Patreon is something you can do if you want to financially support us. Your monthly subscription donation. Is it a subscription?
It is a subscription. It's a monthly subscription.
Okay. Yes, your monthly subscription supports us financially, pays for the hosting for our website, for the audio, for the show notes and the audio, and pays for the editing software, and eventually we'll pay for some upgraded audio equipment. So like it goes to places.
It goes places, it does things. We also do donations from the podcast. So you and I donate via the podcast. As I feel strongly about giving feminine hygiene product to homeless women.
Yes.
So I make sure we do that.
Yes. Fair.
I also feel strongly that the other big thing that we've got going on besides Patreon is that we know that if you can't totally fine. We have a Facebook group. You can chat with us on YouTube. P.S. The password word security question for the Facebook group is don't forget to knit. We are active on there, not terribly as active as we are in Discord. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, I guess I didn't finish the like Patreon spiel, did I?
Now we got distracted. That's fine.
Okay.
It's not that big of a word. Right now we have the podcast anniversary going on. So until the end of March, any garment that you make that involves 2 or more skeins of yarn counts for it, so long as you started it January the 1st-ish. If it happened to be cast on Christmas Day, close enough. Like it's, you cast it
We're
on
good with
tomorrow,
ish.
ish. It's
Ish
close.
is fine.
As long as you're done by the end of March, it counts. So those are larger shawls, complicated cowls that require 2 or more skeins, and garments. Me and Diana are obviously doing sweaters. Diana's doing the Ome tee. I'm doing the half moon tee, which I've not been working on the last 2 weeks because I'm in the middle of a sweater off, in the middle of the podcast anniversary, after having picked up 2 other sweater cows. I'm normal.
Yeah, I don't know where you think you're getting all of these knitting hours.
I don't know. I don't have the time. I just magically think I do.
Okay.
So that's where we sit. So those are the things that are going on right now. Patreon, while great because you do get extra information and added benefits. I did not post an experimental Tuesday this week, so I owe them for not next week but the week after. So I think I'm gonna do a full-on hardcore vegan Sunday brunch.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna like eggplant bacon, home baked beans, like the whole 9 yards.
Sorry, did you say eggplant bacon?
Yeah, yeah. It's been on
Can
my list.
eggplant become bacon?
I don't know. It's been on my list to try it because I've seen people do it. So
So I thought eggplant just kind of went mush.
no, you can crispy eggplant. Yeah, you can crispy eggplant. It's not a problem. So I'm gonna do. I think I owe them for missing this week because of my back. So I'm gonna do a Sunday brunch breakfast, a vegan Sunday brunch breakfast.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pop in with like some vanilla scones or something. I don't know.
Well, you don't owe them. You didn't miss a week. It's fine. It is also just the beginning of the year for us, so there are more knit-alongs coming. There are more things going on in the background. I'm making plans like I do, because that's the kind of human I am. So absolutely stay tuned for the things that are upcoming for that. So those are lots going on. Was there something else I was supposed to talk about? No, it's just podcast anniversary, right?
We're going live on our birthday week.
I forgot about that. We are gonna do live for March the 7th. We're doing it live on the 7th, Manitoba noontime, which is Central Standard Time, because that week is mine and Diana's birthday weeks. Literally one day, then another. So we're gonna take the week off from editing and show notes, and we'll just chat with everybody live on that Sunday.
Yep.
I may buy my birthday cake early.
I'm 100% getting fancy donuts again.
I think that is totally the way I need to go.
I found my picture from the last box of fancy donuts and I stuck that up as the scheduled live thumbnail.
Beautiful.
I'm doing that again. That was great.
The brother-in-law special. He's a grocery manager at Co-op, so I'll be getting a Co-op cake.
That works.
That's how that works. That's how that functions for me. So that'll be what I do. So we're gonna do a live just for everybody, just as a way to sit and chat with everybody, and then take our birthday weeks off. Besides Instagram posts or jobs, like everything else we do in a week, that's normal for us.
Slightly more chill in the podcast stuff that week.
Yeah. So I figured that was a great birthday present to each other. Oh, my back. Okay, what do we got next? I really want to open that skein of yarn. Like, that's all I'm thinking about at this point.
Yeah. We're talking about Patreon, podcast anniversary. We've talked about the sweater off. We're going live. Yeah, just yarn. We can open the yarn.
Woohoo!
We can open the yarn. I've been so impatient.
Guys, we have a sock club we're both in. It is done by Aaron of Fireweed Fiber Company. And here's February. My sister wanted to look at the color, so she's already opened it up and looked. It's fine. I haven't looked, but she has.
That's totally upside down.
That's fine.
It says February.
Mine just says my name because mine just comes to me because she's a Winnipeg local dyer. And I'm spoiled. I am spoiled. So if you are a part of the sock club, odds are pretty good you already have the yarn by the time you're seeing this. I know in a couple of off cases it's not the case, but that's okay. Also, just open the month when you get it early. Fine. We'll be fine. So we're doing that, and we're super excited to be supporting. If you guys remember, her purple finch from January was how I talked Diana into the sock club. So when she's ready, I think we'll pull out our skeins and see if February is just as pretty. I have no
I'm so
ripping
ready.
paper sounds to make because my sister's already opened it to look. It's like she's already looked.
Okay. Wait, I haven't looked yet. Okay, I'm ready to pull it out.
Ready?
Okay.
And go.
Ooh, Whiskey Jack.
I like it.
Interesting.
I like it lots.
I also like it lost. Lost.
Lots?
Meh.
Is that like lots?
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
would not have thought of putting green with it, but I like it.
I like it with the green. I like the green mini. Guys, it is a sock club, so it is one, I think it's 80 gram skein.
I don't know, what does it say? 80 yards, 100 grams. So the mini
100
is 20
mini,
and the
20.
full skein is 100.
Okay, so it's, oh hey, if you've got like a size 6 or size 7 sock, you can easily get 2 pairs of socks out of this.
As I fall over.
So
I
your
happen
mini's
to have January handy.
a nice deep green, which I really, really like. I'm gonna let Diana describe the colors in the main skein because my lighting so that it looks good for you guys is really dark for me. So I am not the best person for that.
Okay.
But I'm
Right.
really happy. I like what I'm seeing. I really like.
So Whiskey Jack is, as I try to hold it up to the camera here, because if I hold it up to the camera, it's backlit for me. So Whiskey Jack is white and purple, or purple. Wow, blue. It's white and blue. I can say words, but like gray blue and like sort of a navy gray blue.
Yeah. Well, I can pick up the blue and the
Speckle,
white, but I
hand painted. What's the name of the technique? Somebody who dyes yarn, tell me the name of this technique. Is it
Aaron, what technique did you use?
yeah, what do I call it? Where it's like speckly. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm hopeless. And then the mini skein that goes with it is spruce green, do you think?
It's a dark green. That's what I'm registering. The exact shade of dark green, I'll have to wait till I can turn on my other lights so I can see better.
But it's like a dark, foresty, sprucey, piney kind of green.
Yeah.
That goes very nicely with the gray blue.
Mm-hmm. I am. These are becoming socks. Can you just imagine these as socks? These have to be socks. They'll be so moody, like a nice full-on winter sock with this dark gray toe, heel, and cuff. Oh, with like maybe a pattern.
Well, it's no. Oh wait, I cannot balance things on my head. That's fine.
Maybe I'll go crazy. Maybe I'll do a small pattern.
Socks. I'm gonna have so much sock yarn.
It is an epic mustache.
That's a very epic mustache.
I may have been looking at 19th century and early 20th century men's faces again this week. And my God, their facial hair. All right. The only other thing that I had come in is way back in October. I like to participate in Craft All the Things for Halloween. It's something that the Knit Girls host, mostly because Laura loves Halloween, and so do I. I use a good hashtag, so I used the hashtags and then promptly forgot I'd entered at all. As I must.
Good job.
The goal was never to win. I just wanted to share my Halloween crafting with everybody because I really like crafting for Halloween. And I did. And I won. And then viewers had to point it out to me because I hadn't watched the episode fast enough. So I got a project bag from, and again, it's really dark, so it's hard for me to read. I got a little like this little project bag.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, she's a little canvas project bag. I can't read that name though.
Gonna have to bring that a touch closer.
How much
Something handmade.
Don't know. I'll try to take a
Sudoku hand. I don't know.
I
Something
will.
handmade.
She's on Etsy, and I will make sure to get Diana the information so you guys can have it because I don't.
Yeah, the font does not translate well over webcam,
It
unfortunately.
really doesn't. I should open. Anyway, I also got this cute little forest keeper thingy. Yeah, little tree.
Oh, that's cute.
Hey, dude.
Oh,
So,
it's lovely.
I'll make sure Diana's got the info for this stuff because it's really hard for me to read these things. Oh, I'll try. I'll see if my magnification glass will pick it up easily. My app.
If you send me a picture of it, I might be able to see it better. It's a little pixely over webcam.
Ikari handmade.
Hikari handmade. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a heavy duty canvas she's used here. Like this is I don't know if you can hear it.
Ooh.
Like that's a heavy duty canvas she's used.
Yeah, that's gonna keep your stuff safe.
Like I feel very comfortable putting pins in this. There's an inside layer, obviously. So I have a new project bag.
That's so pretty.
A little project bag.
I like that.
Which will promptly have something put in it. As soon as my needles for Valentine's Day show up, and my mother assures me they got in the mail this week. So for now, I'll stick the pair of my sock club yarn in there, knowing that they're going to be socks. And I specifically requested more sock knitting needle sizes. So hopefully I requested several different sizes and lengths and stuff. So I wouldn't know exactly which ones I was getting, just that I was getting some sort of knitting needles. So hopefully there's some sock needles coming to me and I can cast on some socks in Erin's February colorway. And have them living in my cool little bag, which has got what? It's like I want to say it's like a muted 60s floral print. Does that make sense?
Oh, that does kind of look a lot like my lovely wallpaper back here now that you point that out.
It's a muted floral 60s print.
I like it.
Which super my aesthetic. So I can just live back there. Standing up right now. Oh, it fell over. Whatever. So that was a surprise that came in the mail. I'm not sure how many of the Werthers the dogs ate.
Oh gosh.
The package came in and they just put it down and the dogs found it. But the canvas bag, which is the part I care about, and the stitch marker, perfectly safe. So I don't care if I lost a Werther's or two to a dog. I can't eat them anyway. So I gave the ones that did survive to my sister to eat. It's like, hey, would you eat these? She's like, yeah. She's like, two? I'm like, well, the bag was ripped in two, so I'm not sure how many the dogs ate. But these are what's left. She just sighed. She's like, is the actual item okay? I'm like, yeah, no, it's fine. no problem. They didn't want the project bag. They were after the candy.
I mean, the canvas sounds tough enough that even if the Werthers had been inside the canvas bag, it would have survived.
I think it would have been fine. Yeah, it's like no, that's definitely a strong enough canvas that had it been chewed on lightly, wouldn't have been a problem for me. All right, that's it for my wool gathering. That is all the stuff that I needed to gather.
The wool, it has been gathered.
Time to go back to my Sprite. Coffee cup's empty.
I think that just leaves us with books.
Oh, hey, books.
Books.
I finished The Sea in the Sky. So I listened to the last several episodes. There's only 12 all told. They're anywhere from like 30 to 40 minutes in length. Fully casted. It's an Audible original. So if you have Audible, you get to listen for free. There is free content if you're an Audible member. You just have to go looking for it. So a lot of it's in the podcast realm and in more books like The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Like the more obscure stuff I occasionally pick tends to happen to fall into that category. But I was telling Diana, it does science fiction right in that you forget it's science fiction because you're so involved in the story, you forget you're on Saturn's moon. Well, one of them.
Doesn't matter because it's about the people.
Because it's about the people. That just happens to be the habitat they're existing in. So there's a lot of things that go on and tell the story. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. So I akin it really to an audio play. It's more like a radio audio play, which I want more of. Go right down here. As this is the molehill I'm going to choose to die on, I want more fully casted audio plays. I want them.
So who do we have to talk to get more of these?
Yeah, like what? This has to be a thing that happens more often. This is amazing.
There are like petitions we can sign or like places we can send emails. I guess we
Yeah.
could email Audible and be like, more, please.
More, please. Exactly. How do I get this movement moving and going? No, I don't mean. I don't think we have to go back and all we ever do is War of the Worlds. Like what? There are tons that are already out there that I think would be vastly more popular if it became a thing we did. Like it was just that was another storytelling medium that we had back that we've lost because of TV. I'd like to see the return of.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Well, some
super.
podcasts are sort of some
Yeah,
podcasts are doing it, and there's
yeah.
like stuff like Welcome to Night Vale, which is
Mhm.
like a weird hybrid meta radio play.
It's like a meadow radio play. Yeah, yeah. So I'd love to see more of those sort of like. Could you imagine like listening to like the Iliad fully casted like a radio drama?
Oh
It's an
my.
epic poem. Wouldn't that be amazing? Where you get like the sounds of the sea and the surf and the war and like you just yeah, yeah. Mostly because I'm audio orientated, so I mean you could show me these pictures, but let's be honest, I don't see them at all. So it doesn't do a thing for me.
When something you can do like really immersive audio illusions with headphones that you can't do with a movie.
There was no way to visually give me the audio experience or the immersive experience of putting a sub underwater. But on my headphones with the right sounds, it sounded like I was in a sub underwater communicating because it had the right echo between the two primary characters, like talking on the radios. And they had like, you got the shutter click sounds, and then you got the sounds of the lights powering on and the motor running. Like, there's so much you can't do visually, but
And
you
you
can
can
do
do like directional stuff that you can only do with surround sound in like movie theaters, I guess home theaters, but like it's just better on headphones.
Yep. Yeah. So it's the sea in the sky was absolutely they said, wear your headphones. They weren't lying. Wear your headphones. So because you would get one actor in one ear on one side of the radio and you'd get the other actor replying on their radio on the other side. Like just yes. So it was really, really well done. Now I mean, I got super absorbed in the story. So like I was crying during the dramatic moments, I was excited during the happy moments. I was all about it. I was sad there was only 12 episodes. The story finished. It was a complete story, which just tells me it was a really good story because I was like, no, but I want more. So that consumed a chunk of my week. The other half of my week, well, more than half of my week, went to the Court of Silver and Flames by Sarah J. Maas, which is the latest installment in the Court of Roses, Thorns and Roses series. Which was what did I say? 26 hours and 5 minutes or something.
Something like that, yeah.
It's done. Came out on the 16th. I've already listened to it all.
Boom, done.
Boom, done. I wasn't really doing anything else, but I would lose track of time when I was listening to that one. But at this point, that's book 5 in the series. One, two, yeah, it'll be book 5 in that series. And I'm still, at this point, the world is developed. You know the characters. You're fleshing out more of like the courts and stuff, and you're dealing with the complications and sort of like the baggage from the previous books. So like that rears its head. So and the relationships just keep growing more complicated and more complex. So like I'm in it. I'm there for it. This is my cup of tea. Long running epic fantasy series is what I'm all about. There, Diana can tell you it's my happy place.
Mm-hmm.
It's my happy place. And then she goes, "You've read how many books? You are ridiculous." So that's what I did this week. That was to see this guy, and I picked up and started, and I'm almost finished because it's a short book. Was story by Toni Morrison. I've already forgotten the title.
God help the children.
Thank you. It is in the literature category, so we're not in science fiction, we're not in fantasy, we're straight up literature. Like I've crossed genres this week.
It's a range. You generally stick to one genre, but this has been a range.
Range. So I've been reading that for one of the book clubs that I participate in. I don't always read the books. A lot of the time for the science fiction fantasy ones, I've already read it. So I don't generally go backwards and read because there's always more to read. So I've got that going on. I decidedly did not jump on the bandwagon like I do most years with the Canada Reads shortlist. So I still have that to read this year. I don't think I'm going to get through 5 books by the 8th of March.
No, that's in like 2 weeks.
Well, physically I could. None of them are like 1,000-page long paperweights slash defend yourself from people who break into your house books. They tend to, with the Canada Reads, you get a lot of sort of like heavier stuff. The
Mm-hmm.
literature stuff, the make you think stuff, the make you sort of sit there and go, have I been a doink? And sometimes you have to say yes because you gotta be able to look at these things. And I know for some of them there are some story formats and tellings that I've read several years back to back with the Canada Reads that I am over. I don't connect with it very well. Like I know what it's trying to do and what it's trying to get across, but my brain and me are done. We're done. We're done. There are some topics and subjects that I've had to deal with my whole life. I'm not interested in spending my reading time also dealing with it. So six of one, half and does the other. I might not read all of them this year. I might make this the year where I choose to read the ones I'm interested in and not read the ones I'm not.
You are allowed to do that. That
I
is a thing
am.
you can do.
So I know at least 3 of the 5 I want to read, but the other 2 I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe I might not. I might move on and read other things. So those I would like to start getting to this week. So at least I've read some of them by the time Canada Reads goes live on the 8th of March. At least some of them. Some of them are really good. Like some have been like, I don't know if I'd like this, and then I've read it and I've been like, why did I wait? This is so good. Thoroughly enjoyed them and enjoyed the point and perspectives that they give. Like there's the Minister Without a Portfolio. I don't know if I've given that to you yet or not.
No, I have not heard of that one.
I loved it. I was like, this is gonna be kind of like a boring book. Now it was great. Super. I was like, yeah, all about it. I read it and I enjoyed it. Like, okay, this is not what I expected. I thought I'd enjoy the Book of Negroes. Guess what? I did. A lot.
All right.
Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't know, but there's a lot of stories where I've read this story. I've read this story for the last 3 years now. I don't want to read the exact same story anymore. I need a tweak. I need a quirk. Now, Toni Morrison is no Gork the Teenage Dragon. She's a heavier literature writer, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm enjoying the book. I know it's not going to be for everybody. Just like everything else I read, it's not for everybody, but some people might enjoy it.
I'm very much reading for escapism during a pandemic. I'm not interested in being challenged intellectually right now.
I like a good challenge every once in a while. It keeps the palate cleansed.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I'm just not interested in cleansing no palates. This week I finished reading Changeling by Robert Rogers Zelazny.
Sure, you read it. I don't know.
It was Zelazny for sure. And yeah, that's one of those books where like you know what you're getting by the end of chapter 1.
Oh, okay.
It was very clearly these two guys are going to have to fight, probably to the death at the end. What I did not see coming was that the fight to the death was going to culminate in like a trippy guitar battle.
A dance off?
Not a dance off. It was like a battle of the bands, metal, like with the trippiest visuals. Like I did not see that part coming. Because like there's Wizard Guy with his like dragons and his magic and everything, but he's also a musician because apparently music is magical or some such. I don't know.
Sure, why not?
Magical. And then there's like Tech Wizard Guy. And so basically it comes down to Wizard Guy comes down, jumps off his dragon and starts playing his guitar. And then Tech Wizard Guy has this magic box that like tears at the fabric of reality. And so basically they're just making really loud noises at each other. Reality is tearing around them.
Uh-huh.
And it's just the most ridiculous B-movie metal ending. It was Like, I laughed out loud while I was reading the last 3 pages because
I
it was
think I
just,
like your description from last week. Sci-fi bad guy. Sci-fi guy bad guy.
yeah, sci-fi bad guy. Yeah,
Sci-fi bad guy.
sci-fi bad. Magic
Okay.
goods? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's an older book, but yeah, that
It was
would be.
very 80s.
It wasn't going to be in the decade. It felt. I mean, it is a product of its time.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
No, it's exactly
Uh-huh.
the 80s B movie goodness that I was hoping it would be.
Excellent.
Which is to say it was terrible, but in the most hilarious way.
Good. That's important. And you told me that you picked up a book I've already sent you.
Yeah. So yeah, last year Justin sent me all these great books that I proceeded to not read. Um, but I finally picked one up. It was the 100,000 Kingdoms. Yes, the 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K.
Jemison.
Jemisin. Yes.
It's the first in a series.
Yeah, I didn't realize that when I picked it up. I'm only on chapter 8, and I'm like, okay, I already gotta hunt down these other 2 books so
Well,
that I have them by the time I finish this book.
I read
Because I gotta read the whole series now.
I read the first one, but they didn't have a second or third one out yet. And by the time the second and the third one came out, my ability to read font at that size had really sort of slid badly. So I just repurchased it on audio. So I have all 3 on audio. I just rebought the first one, and I only bought the second and the third one only on audio. So that was some of the books were in that transition phase where it's like I started the series in book format, but I've had to give up book format and move to different formats. So you're getting some of those because I know the series is good. So I'm like, you might enjoy this one, and if you do, then you can just buy the other 2.
Yeah, I gotta buy the other 2.
I,
I'm 100 pages in. I gotta buy the other 2 already.
I don't blame you. I love that series. N.K. Jemisin writes a very good series.
So like it was just like action right from the get-go. Like this character, we've only been with this character for like 24 hours, and there's been like a chase scene, like possible death. There's gods. There's an entire freaking pantheon that's like Greek god, like ancient Greek level of like drama and intricacy, and there's court intrigue. I love a good court intrigue. I don't care about like modern day intrigue or drama or whatnot. Like I don't give a crap about that. But you give me a good court drama intrigue, like I'm all over that.
Court of Thorns and Roses series.
Yeah, it's
I've
on my
been
list.
suggesting it heavily for a reason.
I know. I'll read that one next.
Okay. Hey guys, I sent her some capital L literature stuff too. Like, don't get me wrong, I sent her some good adult books in with the fun, fluffy stuff.
Yeah, I'm just reading fluff right now.
That's fine.
It's a pandemic. I'm reading fluff.
Your bookshelf will look far more educated and well-rounded than you are. So we're
Yes, it does. I have like some real highbrow stuff, and like this shelf up is like there is nothing newer than like 1950 from here up.
So those are things that are happening.
I'm not kidding.
All right. On the bright side, I think that means we're done.
I think so.
Sweet. In which case, I'll say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
No matter where your week takes you,
Don't forget to knit.
I completely forgot to tell people they could see me live on Thursday on her channel to see if I finish the sweater on time on Louise's channel. Oopsies.